The time is 7 o'clock. I call the March 19th, 2025 meeting of the Village of Suffern Planning Board to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. First item on the agenda is 156, 160 Wayne Avenue.
Good evening, Chairman Gordon, members of the board. As you may recall, my name is Dan Richmond. I'm with the law firm Zion & Steinmetz, and with me here this evening is Pete Gato and Associates, the project planner and architect. As you recall, we were here at your last meeting. Unfortunately, Pete couldn't join us, so I think we should use this opportunity for Pete to maybe walk you through the plan in a little more detail, answer some of the questions I was unable to last month. And I guess we can discuss where we go and how we continue to advance processing this project.
Okay.
I apologize, I thought there was an easel here. So I'm going to pop up here and
We need to talk into the mic.
He's got to talk into the mic though, so we pick it up on the camera.
What's that? Oh,
I apologize that I thought there was an easel here, but so this makes it difficult. Okay, so the site plan, I think you've seen this drawing before you, is it right? You have the full package of the drawing, the sections and elevations and everything, full package, yes? Okay, great. So essentially, you can see it's a one-way entrance off Wayne Avenue, and there's parking and apartment access from each building. There are basically respective buildings opposite side of each other in the site. One flanking through the end, and the rear portion of the site is going to be gated off because it's a steep wooded area and wildlife and such. We plan to screen the property on the perimeter and allow for access, again, for a turning radius, as we show in the sort of a K-turn for emergency vehicles along there in the back. Just a close-up on the units, as you can see, they're entering right off the front. There's no parking inside the buildings themselves, and the units are accessible right off the central part. The area in the front, which is going to be designated, we show the striping, could be different colored asphalt, just to designate the walking area from the striped ADA spaces. We could talk about that. And then landscape as much as we could, and softness with trees. And again, keeping as much trees and as many items of landscape around the front as well as the rear. Let me see here. Let's see. And then, just in terms of and the sections, we'll see they're fairly straightforward. Sections, they're a little bit off the ground, but ADA accessible entrances. Apartments is 2 floors, proprietary basements below for each unit, per unit. And this is a long section through the site. Wayne Avenue is in the front, and the hill tapers up to my left. And down here is a shorter section, the width coming in, driving inside the property with buildings on either side. And just a quick visual to show you what a typical building could look like, with some windows spaced, a couple different variations of the color tones, modest shapes, breaking up the space, so the volume, and clearly defining the entrance with another half gable, full gable pronounced on the center. And then just another view, there's the front and the rear. There's some balconies in the rear. And again, capturing the different, break up the mass a little bit with the entrances, little gable popping out. And similar on the rear side, same thing in between the balconies, the Juliet balconies that are there. So that's really it. And that's the project in a nutshell. It's a pretty straightforward project, so happy to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Anybody have any questions or comments?
I still have a question on the walkways between the parking spaces. I personally feel they need to be raised, because right now they look like to be the same size as a parking space, and over time, striping, I feel, will fade, and that will become an additional spot, impeding access to the building.
Sorry, Dan. So you're saying the walkways themselves?
The walkways between the parking spaces.
The walkways between the parking spaces, which is what?
How are they going to be distinguished from a parking space? They look to be the same width as a parking space. If they were raised up with either concrete pad or whatever, people would know that's a walkway. Right now, if you stripe them over time, that's going to fade or not be maintained, and it will become additional parking space, impeding access to the building.
I see. Well, that would be probably against the condo rules, first of all, so I doubt that would happen. Secondly, as I alluded to earlier, we would designate them as different stripe and different colorization, so it would look not like a parking space. We cannot raise them because of the ADA rules, so we can't do that. One thing we could do is make them maybe a little bit narrower than we show, so it's more of a narrow walkway into the space. And that would reduce the actual width of the parking width, and you couldn't park in there.
Are you saying those are ADA spaces, so that's the loading and unloading area for an ADA space? Is that what you're saying?
No, there are separate ADA spaces here. That is representative of the ADA stripe, correct? Is that what you just asked me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
I couldn't really hear you.
that is what I'm asking. Yeah.
Yes, that's
What Dan is
it.
talking about is an ADA space where they need space to unload a vehicle. Is that correct?
Right. He's asking about the walkway to raise it up. I think.
Between the spots.
Yeah.
With the ADAs. And
Maybe that's the ADA space. Looks like, I don't know if it is or not. What are the striped areas?
It's an ADA, not space, it's the stripe area next to ADA space, which is also serving as the entrance into the building.
I got it.
So it's a non-parking, non-open area all the time. Kind of doing double duty with the walking from the parking lot.
And do these plans address the fire department's comments that we
I
had?
just received them about 2 minutes ago.
So no, they don't. Okay.
But generally speaking, we're familiar with projects in other communities and how the deliverables and how they work. So the radiuses are, from what I understood, to believe that working with the radiuses from the codes we researched before, but we will address all the specific comments we got tonight.
Anybody else have any comments, questions?
So what's the next step? I thought we were going to send this to the planner and they were going to... Oh, it just went, okay. I got it.
Just went to the planner and we didn't get everything back. So I think we're going to set a public hearing for next month.
Great.
And that should, the 16th, which is when the meeting would normally be, is the middle of Passover. So we're going to set it for the 23rd. It also gives us a little extra time to get everything back.
Do a motion to set the public hearing.
Do I have a motion to set the public hearing on this project, which is 156, 160 Wayne Avenue, for April 23rd at 7 p.m.?
Make a motion.
Motion, Mr. Dale. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Mr. McInerney. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. So we'll see you back on the 23rd.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
So you get in touch with Joanne about the notices and stuff?
About the notices, yes, we'll talk to you. Thank you very much.
It's just a budding and across the street, it doesn't, it's not, and they're not certified, it's regular mail.
Okay.
So I'll get a map out and sketch where it's gonna be,
Okay.
get that to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr.
All right,
Chair,
the
members of
next
board.
on the agenda is Le Chocolat. I don't know if anybody's here. Oh, we do, okay.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Avi Weinberg, Weinberg Lim Engineering, here on behalf of the applicant. This is sort of a placeholder meeting. We were here last month, discussed the project in detail. Since then, I know you guys have submitted, you've sent out the plans for GML review. We got one comment letter in from the drainage agency, just telling us to fill out applications. I expect more letters to be trickling in over the next couple days. I just wanted to address, there were two items that I actually wanted to address, questions that came up last month from members of the board. Mr. Stanbridge, I remember you asked me about the zoning. We did some research. My research found that the variances that are needed are because of the building. That parking doesn't trigger yard variances, you know, front yard, side yard, and all that. So the fact that the building pretty much takes up a large portion of the lot and runs to the property lines, it's the building itself, the existing building essentially, that requires the variances. You know, the front yard and the side yard and all that. Another comment that came up is about the handicap entrances. We are working on that, and by next plan we will include that, you know, there's going to be handicap striping and access on both levels, that, you know, people should be able to go straight into the building from the parking deck. Like I said, at this point we are getting in the comment letters. I was just wondering if perhaps we'd be able to open up next month's meeting for a public hearing.
That was the plan, most likely.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions or comments?
Joanne, was this sent to Bonnie also?
I don't have maps to send. I don't have enough maps to send to her, so if you could get that to me, I'll get it over to Bonnie right away.
Okay, how many plans do you need? How many sets do you need?
Well, send me 3 at least so that I have them to go to if she needs it to go somewhere else or whatever.
So 3 sets of
It
plans.
went to county, but I didn't have them for Bonnie, and
Got
I
it.
don't know, did we set an escrow?
I don't know.
Leave the escrow.
Yes, this escrow was set at $3,500 last
Yeah.
time. So you need to bring a check for $3,500 payable to
Right.
the village, which will be held in escrow to pay to the planner to review.
Right.
So the sooner you get that, the sooner we can send it out to the planner. So that's already been voted on, so.
Yeah,
it's up to
that
the
was
board if you
voted
wanna
on.
Vote for the public hearing.
Okay.
Right.
Do we have a motion to set a public hearing for Le Chocolat on April 23rd, 2025 at 7 p.m.?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. McInerney, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Stanbridge, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We will see you on the 23rd.
Perfect. And I should also be in touch with Bonnie to,
We'll start with Joanne.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Joanne.
Yeah, if you can get that to me, she's coming in to pick up another set of plans. So if you can get that to me, then I can get, you know, for the
Yeah.
same, you know, at the same time.
And
So
she'd
maybe
probably
drop
want them
off
electronically also. no?
yeah. I'll relay that to the expediting
tomorrow.
team.
Do you have a flash drive for that?
I'll talk to the expediter. He's handling all
If
that.
he can do that too, that's good, because that's easier to send stuff over to her and the county, so if they,
We can't just send you an email with everything, or
I'm sorry?
we can't just send an email with everything?
You can.
Yeah.
You can, but,
'Cause
you
that's-
know, it's just easier to, I can forward that to them from there, you know, sometimes the things don't open this, I just.
Got it. Yeah, I just know generally. I'll relate to him. If you could get the
Okay.
flash drive, that would be good. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Any miscellaneous business to discuss? Any old business? Any new business? Do I have a motion to schedule the April meeting for April 23rd at 7 p.m.?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Halper, do I have a second? Mr. Stanbridge, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Dale, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. McInerney, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.